Hello, I thought it would be cool to do a little deep dive video, just showing you behind the scenes inside the program so that you can see how much content is actually in here because it's a lot. And I know when I just put like what you can expect, it doesn't do it justice. So I'm going to share my screen and you can see what is inside the 3 month foundations program. There is also the 4 month VIP option and that would be a separate module because not everyone gets access to that if the certification doesn't allow. So hopefully you can see this now. This is the standard 3 month foundations option. And as you enter the program hosted on Kajabi, you can also get access to this on your smartphone through the Kajabi app. Makes it a little bit more user-friendly if you're out and about. You can listen to the trainings and the videos like you would a podcast, but you're learning on the go. So there is just an overview and terms and conditions to get started with. And then module one is all about business foundations. So running a successful health coaching practice, or even in person, a lot of these things can still apply because in the modern day, even if you have a brick and mortar coaching practice and you see people in person, we're likely going to have to be on social media. You might want to host a podcast and maybe you do a little bit of both, but this also is amazing if you're 100% online like I am. So we get clear to begin on what we're actually building because we don't want to just build as we go and then realize a few years in that we didn't do it properly. We didn't lay the foundations and we have to burn everything down and start again. So if you are just starting out, this is a really important thing to do and you will thank me in future because I had to switch so much around. I realized I've made a lot of different mistakes and I don't want the same for you. But if you are in that position where you just have realized that your practice, maybe your years in, isn't working for you, you're unclear on your niche, you're not attracting clients, we get really back to basics, starting with business and personal values, because that should be how your business operates. You should be aligned with your values. And you don't want to create a business that you hate showing up to. You want to create your dream coaching practice that allows you to eventually live your dream life. It's not sometimes possible right away. We have to build up, and that is what I preach on here. It's not this really simple, easy thing. It does require work, but we can also work smarter and not necessarily harder and have to push and grind and do it in this very masculine way. I have managed to build my business while still thriving with my health. And I've always put my health first because we have to practice what we preach. So there's a big section on that too, being the muse, being the motivation, being the inspiration for your clients by making sure that you're taking care of yourself in the meantime. There is different homework at the end of each week. So you get access to this all as soon as you sign up, but you can certainly work through it week by week. That will make it a little bit more sustainable for you. But if you want to jump straight to something I discussed in module 2 or 3, you can do. So all of the content is going to be there. If you want to follow it as it's designed, you could put in your own calendar and make a little schedule for you to follow it weekly and just make sure you're doing the homework, doing all of the tasks. You're definitely going to get the most out of it there. But I understand maybe you've already done a lot on social media marketing, you've already done a course on that, so you can still watch it because there's always some new pearl of wisdom that you can get, even someone just saying one little thing that you might have missed or not think's important that could make a massive difference. So even if something doesn't call to you straight away and you think you know it, please listen to everything on here eventually because it might just be the thing that makes a difference. Week 2 is all about marketing and social media, how to create reels. We're going really back to basics because there's some people who are students or newly qualified and they have no social media experience. They're on the consuming content, but they've actually never created content. So some of these videos were requests from the beta testers within the first round. I have people who, yeah, they've never posted a reel before, so I just did a basic demonstration on how I create reels and how to make them a little bit more fancy and customized, but very, very simply and easy. Same with podcasting. I was requested information or trainings on that, both hosting a podcast, because I've had mine for many years now, probably 5, 6 years, but also being a guest on the podcast. I've put my top tips in there. And then homework again, just getting clear on your ideal client and some content ideas, a few other things on there. Let's just have a quick look inside module 2. So yeah, getting clear on your niche, um, other profiles that you love, and putting your spin on some of the popular content. So that's just a little sneak into one of the homeworks. Week 3 is all about the client journey. So creating your signature offer and program. Lead magnets, so these are your freebies and my top advice on there and how to create ones that do really well and what happens after that. Email sequences, getting them on your email list because that is one of the top places that you can sell your products and services. How to create a client journey and experience, and what happens once they finish the initial package or session. How to support them long term. How to be okay with selling, big one. We get into this work because we want to help people, but then we realize, oh, we have to be salespeople, we have to be online marketers, we have to be our own content creators initially, and it just feels like a lot. And when we reframe selling to be a good thing, we're offering a solution to someone's problem. There's much more that goes into it, but I am really big on this because if you've got gifts, if you've got services that could literally help people to heal and achieve dream health and get rid of the stubborn symptoms, you want to be shouting that from the rooftop and feel okay with that. Then week 4 on module 1 are some slightly random videos, but really useful things, productivity hacks, time-saving tips and techniques, both on client calls, but also when creating social media, how to batch create content effectively, my top business advice for holistic practitioners, and this was requested as well, just what my typical work week looks like as of 2025. Things might change in future, but I have got a really, really good work-life balance now, and you don't want to compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 10, but you can gain some insight into what it could look like in the future and how you could get there, basically, if you want a similar thing. Module 2 is about mindset mastery, a really, really amazing module, in my opinion, something that is missing quite often in the business coaching world. Even your initial studies to become a practitioner, your mindset and your subconscious mind and your beliefs are going to dictate how you show up. Your actions, your behaviors, your habits, whether you show up for yourself online or whether you hide yourself away. So we talk about improving your self-confidence so that you can show up as the authority figure and have people confident to buy from you. Reframing competition with other practitioners, other clinics, other social media accounts, comparison, and jealousy, how we can really remove those energies from our life and actually focus more on collaboration and celebrating others when they're doing really well and knowing that there's more than enough room for all of us in this world. The chronic illness and health space is becoming more and more necessary the more years go by. Week 6 is all about boundaries. In your business, having a successful business, we really need to be strict with our boundaries for ourselves and for others. And with clients, there can be situations where the lines start to get a little bit blurry and it can become challenging, and there can be some issues that you have to face with difficult client situations and overstepping boundaries. So we want to have the boundaries in place first and be strict with them and not have leaky boundaries and then get annoyed with someone if they're constantly messaging you or trying to call you or show up at your house. Week 7 is all about money, and why you need to charge your worth as a holistic practitioner. We should be compensated for changing people's lives because we know the power of this work, but we feel weird about selling it. I wish this was free information and we all had access to organic food and we weren't up against all of these environmental toxins, but that is not the reality. And at the end of the day, this is my job, this is my career. If I was an accountant, if I was a lawyer, people wouldn't expect free advice and free support. So just because it's health related, it doesn't change things. People actually value what they pay for more than something that they get for free. And you know that they're serious about changing their life if they put the investment down. Money mindset shifts that change my life, and some homework around your limiting beliefs around money, what is possible for you, what you're wanting to earn, and the steps that you need to take to get there. Week 8, so the last week of module 2, the mindset module is practitioner self-care strategies, how I take care of myself, some recommendations for you if you have a busy clinic or aim to have a busy online clinic, how you can really take care of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to be thriving with your health, or at least prioritizing it. You don't need to be in perfect health, but in order to give to others and even just run a business and have the brain capacity to manage different clients, to remember little things about people. But if you've got brain fog or if you're bloated and feel awful, you're not going to show up as your best self. Trusting your intuition and using tools like manifestation for business success. Love anything on this subject, so I had to weave it in to this practitioner mentoring program, obviously. Same with feminine and masculine energy. I personally love this whole module, and I know that you're going to enjoy it too. Might be things that you've not heard before. And then there's some reprogramming audios, calling in your dream clients. I had a client, or one of the beta testers, she did this and she was feeling really blocked around getting clients. And I think she had a bit of a quiet season. And then she said that she did a meditation and she got a client signed up and just felt so much lighter and better and confident in her abilities. We have a cord cutting energy healing. So this can be any past clients or just at the end of a work day. It can be a lot. It can be energetically draining to have all of these people feeling like they need you and they're relying on you for their health. And we need to be strict with our energy protection and self-care again. Otherwise, it can be very draining, especially if you're empathic and you have other things going on. Maybe you're also a wife and a mother and you've got other things that you want to do. You don't want to feel like your energy is being drained, because otherwise you're not going to be able to show up to your work fully and enjoy yourself. An abundance meditation, specifically around money and abundance and calling in new clients or selling your services if you have digital courses. And then a gratitude rampage meditation, just to be in that high frequency and celebrate all that you already have. And doing so, that's going to call in much more. That's how it works, the law of attraction. Module 3, so the final module for the Foundations program. So everyone's going to get access to this. And then if you want to do the extra bonus module, that is a training on the GI map, stool test, organic acid urine test, Dutch hormone test, and the HTMA. I can't remember if I said that. Hormones, gut, minerals, and organic acid urine tests on a separate module, but this just be a little bit boring, so just imagine you can see that on here. Module 3 is about advanced client results. So we start off talking about those clients who are seemingly doing all the right things. They're eating better than you even. And maybe you're the third practitioner that they've seen and they're just not seeing results. Some other things to consider, some deeper root causes that you might not know about, even the energetic, emotional components, chronic infections. Are they actually doing what you say, or are they just kind of stringing you along and not really sharing the full truth? That could be the case. Is it that they actually are getting better and they just don't realize it because they keep moving the goalposts? There's a lot of different factors. And that is why goal setting and symptom tracking is key. How to support your clients between sessions if you want to do that. It's not a requirement, but I personally want to make the whole experience just this really easy VIP experience that they love, and then they become your biggest fans, and then they want to spread the word about your services and refer you to friends. That is the ideal situation. The foundations of healing, so what I feel everyone should be addressing with clients and how to do that. Commonly overlooked causes of stubborn symptoms, and then many deep dives into certain conditions. So let's have a look at the endometriosis one, for example. This one is 20 minutes. They're all probably around half an hour long, honestly. So with each one, you get an audio download that you can listen to, or you can watch the video training. PCOS, so we have hormonal conditions, infertility, weight loss, acne, and this is going deeper than just the foundations. So the foundations is hydration and movement and non-toxic living, stress management, and then each condition we go even deeper, things to consider with weight loss, acne, IBS, anxiety and depression, fatigue, mold toxicity, and then another requested video was how do we support detox? So I added that in too. So I hope you enjoyed. I would love to see you inside the program. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can send me a DM on social media at Viva Natural Health. There's a little contact form at the bottom of this page that you can complete, or send me an email. That's inquiries with an E at vivanaturalhealth.co.uk. And I would love you to really up level your practitioner skills and skyrocket your business success by learning some of these things and implementing them into your coaching practice. Whether you're brand new, you're a few years in, you're feeling a little bit lost, I would love to guide and support you with this program.